Hi everyone, I'm Astha. Today I'm going to talk to you about the software engineer interview process at Facebook. At the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of what to expect in this interview, what your interviewers are looking for, and a couple of tips on how to prepare for it. As a quick intro, Prepfully offers anonymous mock interviews with someone who has worked in your target company and role, alongside a host of other interview prep services, recorded interviews, interview questions, and guides. So in this context, we've got a lot of Facebook software engineers who help candidates with mocks and advice and who have put together relevant content, this video being an example of it. So, on to the software engineer interview. In a nutshell, this interview focuses on your ability to demonstrate core skills of programming, design, debugging, and testing. The Facebook software engineer interview consists of 3 rounds. The first one is a recruiter phone screen. The second is the technical phone screen conducted by 2 software engineers who will test your coding skills and understanding of data structures. The third and the final step is the on-site or virtual on-site loop, which consists of 4 to 6 interviews. Let's talk step 1 first. This is the recruiter interview. It usually happens over the phone or online and takes about 30 minutes. Your resume needs to have passed the filters to be invited for this. In this round, the recruiter is primarily trying to assess your experiences as a software engineer, its relevance to the skills Facebook is looking for, and the extent of your high-level cultural fit for Facebook. Some tips for getting through this round. 1. Be super familiar with your past work. Make sure you have a project you can talk about from each of your previous roles. 2. Organize your thoughts in advance around topics like what your contribution was, how things went, and what you could have done better. 3. Keep answers short and crisp. 4. Have a clear reason for why you're applying at Facebook as well as why you think you'd succeed there. And finally, this round often starts with an old favorite, tell me something about yourself. So it's useful to have a nice short intro ready to roll with. Alright, let's say you get through step 1. Next up is step 2, the software engineer phone interview. This will typically be a 45 to 60-minute interview by 2 software engineers. They will start with a short walkthrough of your resume, after which you'll be given 2 coding questions with around 20 minutes to solve each and walk the engineers through your solution. There are 3 broad topics that most candidates are tested on. The first is dynamic programming. The second is data structures. And the third is graphs and trees. The interview will likely begin with a deep dive into your previous technical projects, especially questions like what could you have done better, or why did you use Python and not C++ in this implementation? Once the resume walkthrough is done, you'll be given 2 coding questions. Based on feedback from recent Prepfully candidates, we've noticed that the level of difficulty of the interview questions is very similar to that of a medium-level lead code questions, so that's a good platform to practice. Some tips for getting through this round. 1. Clarify all your doubts around the coding question before beginning to solve it. 2. Broadly explain your approach first and then start coding. 3. Typically, you will have to code on a text editor and won't have access to features like syntax autocomplete. You also won't be able to run or debug the code, so get enough syntax practice beforehand so that you're comfortable during the interview. 4th and last, make sure you go through Prepfully's interview guide for Facebook's software engineer interview. It has a lot of sample questions for this round. Good. So let's assume you get through the phone screen. The third and final step, and also the highest effort one on this side, is the virtual on-site interview round. The on-site round usually consists of 4 to 6 interviews, 2 of which are technical interviews, 1 is a systems design round, and 1 is a behavioral round with a hiring manager. Technical interviews will be conducted by software engineers who will be live coding challenges. Let's start with the 2 technical rounds. These interviews will test your programming skills and broadly cover 2 areas. The first will be basic coding skills like manipulating strings, arrays, and recursion. The second will be data structures. Again, we encourage you to practice extensively on websites like LeetCode. Next will be the design round. This round will assess your system and product design skills, depending on your experience as well as the role you are applying for. Could be junior or senior SWE. The level and importance of this round will vary. For a junior position, you will not be expected to have a lot of in-depth system design knowledge, but you must know about product designing. For the senior position, you will be required to have extensive knowledge of both. You can expect most questions in this round to be directly around designing a system. For example, how would you design a social media platform like Twitter, or design a specific feature for the Facebook app? Some tips for the design round. 1. Think aloud about how you would go about designing the model. Start with some general questions and then move on to more specific details as per the problem. And 2. Read up about various design failures and understand why they failed and how they could have been prevented. It will help provide answers to follow-up questions around what can be done and what shouldn't be done. Alright, on to the last bit of the on-site loop. The final round will be the behavioral round with the hiring manager. This interview will primarily assess whether you're a good fit for the company and role. The interviewers will also want to see how you interact with your peers and deal with situations. Questions in this round will focus on your soft skills, communication, and your ability to reflect on past experiences. A few interesting questions reported by recent candidates were: are there any projects that you regret working on? Why? And how did you convince your peer software engineers to come on board an implementation method that they were previously opposing? Some tips for the behavioral round. 1. We recommend that you answer questions using the STAR framework, which stands for situation, task, action, result, and reflection. And 2. Facebook's 5 core values form an important component of answers to Facebook's SDE interview questions. So try to incorporate them all in your scenarios. That's all for this guide then. In a nutshell, 3 steps to cracking Facebook's software engineer interview. The recruiter round is all about the basics. The phone interview covers all the technical concepts, and the on-site digs really deep into your technical skills, your design skills, and your behavioral and leadership skills to figure out if you'd be a good fit for Facebook. Once you feel ready for some practice or just want a sense check of your preparation level, you can book an anonymous mock interview with Facebook's software engineer on Prepfully. There's a link in the description below. In addition, we've linked to a bunch of useful resources. There's a written guide which goes into way more depth and also contains sample interview questions for the interview types you'll be facing, as well as several blog posts on the different components of this interview. So feel free to check these out. If you have follow-up questions about the interview, ask in the comments below. And if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks and good luck.
Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Our website is prepfully.com. We've got lots of interview questions there. You can also schedule a mock interview with one of our experts. You can find the link in the description below. All the best from us at Prepfully, and we hope you totally rock your interview.